Hello, can you believe it is September already? So now all the fruit is ready to harvest, I think pretty much, most of it anyway. So we've been harvesting loads of apples, pears and plums, and we've got so many that I actually have enough to can, despite having a lot of children that have eaten tons of it already. So I have got some left over that I need to can, and we've still got loads more actually that we need to be picking. And I have never canned fruit before, I don't think. Definitely not pressure canned fruit before. So I thought you could join me in the process of learning how to do that. So I actually don't think I have enough plums left to can because the children have demolished a lot of them. But I have enough for a few jars, not even a whole canner I don't think, of the apples and pears because the children have eaten so many. But this is basically like a little trial run for me anyway. So I'm going to see how it goes, and then next time when I go to the allotment and pick another big load of fruit, I'll know exactly what I'm doing and be able to refine my process a little bit, hopefully. So yeah, I'll show you what we have. There's the apples, pears, and not many plums. And in that bowl I have got some 4 cups of water and 1 cup of lemon juice. So that's just to stop the fruit from browning as I'm peeling and chopping. So I guess let's get on with peeling and chopping first of all. So you can do different things with apples. Obviously you can add spices, you can make it so it's ready for apple pies, but I'm just going to can apples in a light syrup, quartered or sliced, I'm not sure yet, and then I can cook with them how I want in the future. And I'm just using this book, which is like the Bible of canning, I guess you could say. It's called Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. So it's got lots of helpful tips in there. That's where I got the tip for putting the 1/4 cup of lemon juice and 4 cups of water in a bowl to put your fruit into so that it doesn't go brown as you've just chopped it. And then all these peelings I will be giving to my chickens. I'm sure they will love it. And then yeah, I've just actually recently got quite a lot more chickens because we never seem to have enough eggs. So yeah, hopefully now we will not have to buy eggs anymore. We will see. It would be great to not have to buy eggs anymore. I actually didn't manage to do very much with my allotment this year because I stupidly hurt my back. I was just literally just picking up a basket of laundry, wet laundry, so it's quite reasonably heavy but not really. But I guess because of the way I was kind of twisting as I picked it up, I injured my back. I herniated a disc, and so yeah, I couldn't do anything really at the allotment. So all the stuff I planted, nothing really came of it because I couldn't go there and water. And it was a very dry summer, wasn't it? So, but luckily, the main thing is that the fruit trees were able to take care of themselves, and we have got lots of fruit. Like I say, I do need to go and harvest a lot more of that. So I have big plans for my allotment next year, hoping that it will be better. Well, I'm going to start this autumn actually with what I can and really, you know, make a go of it and hope that I don't injure my back again, because that was really, really annoying. I hate with a passion not being able to do anything, and being bedridden was horrendous. I know people have it a lot worse things going on, but yeah, it's awful. I like to be busy. So I used to just do the water bath canning, which, you know, I was very happy with. Everything worked out extremely well when I did that, and definitely was safe despite what the FDA say about water bath canning. Yeah, I did water bath can low acid foods and everything was fine. It's something that's been done in Europe for a long time, and you know, I was all perfectly happy with that. But the reason I decided to go and get myself a pressure canner is because, well, a couple of reasons. One is that the canning times are a lot quicker, so in the end, you know, it does save you a bit of money on your electric bill if you use electric for your canner, which I do, because we don't have gas here. So yeah, for that reason. And also because when you water bath can low acid foods, when you want to eat them, you have to then boil them when you open the can to eat what's inside, you have to boil the contents vigorously for at least 10 minutes, you know, because if there was any botulism in there, then that would kill the botulism. So if, for example, I water bath canned these apples, not only would it be longer for me to actually water bath can them as opposed to pressure canning them, but also then when I wanted to open the can and eat the apples, I would then have to boil them vigorously for 10 minutes, and then it would just be complete mush, wouldn't it? So with pressure canning, I can just open that that jar of apples in a year or something, and I can eat them cold out of the jar if I want to. I don't have to heat them up at all, and it will be safe. So that was my reason behind it, because you might not want to, you know, boil everything vigorously for 10 minutes that's in your jars. You know, it depends, but that's what I thought. That was my reason behind it all. I know that there are other ways that you can store apples over the winter. You know, you can keep them in a cold, dark place, and with pears you wrap them in brown paper and things like that. But I don't know. I don't have a space to do anything like that really, and I just thought canning would be a safer, more reliable method to store the apples and be able to eat apples all year long that you have grown, so you don't have to buy them from the supermarket. So I've just taken the jars out of the canner and they look very pretty, but they have shrunk in size quite a lot, but I guess that's only to be expected. And one can didn't work. I actually really do not like canning with these jars. I usually use WEC jars, but I haven't got any spare at the moment. I need to buy some more. But I never have a problem with canning with the WEC jars, but these ones I always seem to have some issue with at some point. So yeah, I just need to get more WEC jars, and I can show you how I can with those in another video. So now I'm just going to let those cool until tomorrow, and then I'll show you whether they have sealed or not. Good morning, so it's the next day, and so I'm just going to quickly check that those jars have hopefully sealed, so we'll have a look now. So yesterday when I did the canning, I didn't have enough apples left over after the children had demolished loads of them to fill up 7 quarts to fill the canner. So what I did was I put pears, some jars of pears and some jars of apples in the canner together, and they actually have different canning times. The apples are supposed to be 20 minutes and the pears are supposed to be 25, but I just thought, oh, I'll just put them on for 25 minutes. So the apples are quite overdone. They look quite mushy, which is fine because I can just put that on pancakes. But next time I want to have enough apples to do 7 quarts and be able to do them at the correct time, so they're not too mushy. But the pears, they seem okay, and we could use those to make a tart or, I don't know, a cake, different things. But next time I would really like to be able to get more WEC jars, because I have 100% seal rate with WEC jars and not a very good success rate with the mason jars when it comes to sealing. So yeah, these jars just don't work too well for me. I know most people love them, but that's just me.